When are you ever going to realize that what makes you different is what makes you beautiful? That is your superpower. That is your gift.
Because for me, it's about going out authentically 100% who you are, even if it's going to piss somebody off.
Girl, I want you to help us embrace the beauty within onto the outside. I've got a quote from my book.
Yeah.
Looking badass on the outside leads to feeling badass on the inside.
Yes.
Now here's also the same thing. If you feel badass on the inside, how do you feel badass on the outside?
Yeah.
Because growing up,
Yeah.
I used to think putting makeup on meant that I didn't like myself.
Woo! Hold on, that's fire. Okay, keep going.
Then-
Keep going, yeah.
I lent into it, but then I lent into it too much,
Yep.
to the point where then I wouldn't leave the house because my identity was the person that was always made up.
Yes.
So makeup, beauty, actually becomes a bit of a sore topic for people.
Yes, it is. Yes,
So
it
talk
does.
to me, Gal. How do we build
Thank you.
radical confidence in order to really allow our inners to shine on the
Well,
outside?
first of all, thank you so much for even sharing that with us, because it is a trap that so many people fall into when it comes to beauty. And it's funny, you know, for me, I've always been a drag queen. Like literally, I came out the womb, I had some mascara in this hand and like some glitter in this hand, and just, you know, because I've just always loved it. It was my form of self-expression. But many people get that same thing. It's like, oh, if I put makeup on, that means I hate myself. Oh, if I put makeup on, it means I'm hiding. It means that, you know, and then it becomes counteractive, right? Then all of a sudden you're embarrassed about wanting to make yourself look good. And that's really, really a shame. Let's be honest. Society hasn't helped with that shit, girl. Let's be honest. Opening up your Instagram every day and seeing all these like perfect filters, right? Where everyone's like, oh yes, I'm perfect, I'm fabulous. And you're like, I can't compete with that. So you know what? I'm just gonna give up. I'm just gonna not do it. So we need to, number one, realize that beauty is your personal, unique superpower. Whatever it is that helps you to look or feel powerful is, I have to tell you, so incredibly important. We have to let go of that stigma that you need to look like Susie or Tracy or Kim. It's not about that, because what's happening is we're getting trapped into this crazy, scary world where we feel like if we can't look like the supermodels, which who, by the way, it isn't always real. Like I get so crazy when you look at pictures and you're like, you can see there's a filter on that. You can see that that's not real life. There's no pores, there's no crevices, that's not human. So we need to get rid of that, and we need to put that away. Then what we need to do is realize that whatever is our power, just like learn, I mean, I'm not gonna try to say that saving yourself from someone who's trying to hurt you is maybe the same as swiping on some mascara. But you know what? It can be your power. We don't have to think of it as self-hate for wanting to look good, for wanting to feel like you can go out there and empower yourself by looking in the mirror. It's okay. Let go of thinking that just because you want to look pretty or fierce, or maybe it's a swipe of glitter, or maybe it's a red lip, whatever that is, it's okay. And forgive yourself, have grace for yourself to want to look good. And that's okay. We have to let go of that.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Everything you're saying is so powerful.
Yeah.
But I worry about the person at home right now that's like, it's okay for you because you're stunning. Like, I can't believe you're 50. Like, you've said that twice today, and I literally, every time you say it, I want to like go, what the hell? But seriously, like, there's a point where I don't want people to dismiss what you're saying. How did you feel about yourself? And how do you use makeup to help you? Like, get that confidence. Have you always had radical confidence?
Here's something. I have not always been confident by any stretch of the imagination. Growing up in upstate New York, being the only Filipino American girl in my school, and I heard it all, and the flat face and the chinky eyes and all that stuff, and then getting on the bus and having them hit me with their book bags and all. Yes, of course. And I didn't want to be me. I didn't want to be like this. I wanted to be white. I wanted to be blonde hair. I wanted to be all of that stuff. And I was avoiding going to school. because I didn't want to get beat up and I didn't want to get made fun of. And I said, I came home and finally my mom, who passed away when I was 17, but was this fierce queen who like owned it. And she was this beautiful, again, unicorn with like the strongest self-love. And she said, Anak, what's wrong with you? You're not acting like yourself. And I said, well, you know, they hate me. They hate me. They think I'm ugly. They think I'm different. And she in a weird way, she started laughing because she was like, oh my gosh. She was like, when are you ever going to realize that what makes you different is what makes you beautiful? That is your superpower. That is your gift. And you need to lean into that, embrace it, accept. And then she said, and by the way, do you know all those people that do cat eyes with their eyes? Just so you know, they're trying to look like us. And I was like, okay, girl, that's right. So I see those girls with the cat eyeliner, and I'm like, I already got it, okay? And all of a sudden, I realized that this is all of our superpower. You know, I love that you talk about your nose, which I think your nose is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Because it is you. And nobody else has that nose. And nobody else has those eyes. And then you say to yourself, what is so beautiful about me? What is that one thing that weirdly you never liked about yourself? That's the thing
The nose.
I want you to embrace. That's the thing that I want you to say, nobody has these lips. Nobody has these freckles. Nobody has this giant blonde afro. Oh, no, they don't. And then all of a sudden, you realize that that's your superpower.
Yeah. It's so true, because all you want to do, though, or at least for me when I was a kid, was to fit in. Because I was teased with my nose. Like, literally, people would call me Concord.
Ugh.
And so I was...
Don't you want to just be like...
And when you're insecure...
Yeah.
Like now it's like, who cares? But like when you're young, when you're insecure, when you don't feel great about yourself, when you just want to fit in and people are now saying your nose stands out and like it pokes them in the eye. I mean, you get all that, right? Kids are mean. Kids are mean. And so I remember when I was a kid and I said, when I'm older, I'm going to get plastic surgery. Like I just told him, when I'm old enough, I'm going to get plastic surgery. My mum, I even remember, and I know you know this story, but for people at home that might not, I remember I was 14, going into my mum's room. I remember seeing a photo of myself from the side, and I was like, this photo cannot exist. And so I sneaked in, I ripped up the photo and trashed it. And that's because all I wanted to do was fit in so that I wasn't picked on. And my husband, when I met him, he was like, but this is what makes you special.
Thank you.
And to your point, if we're able to take that thing that we don't like and use that language, words and the way that we talk to ourselves matter. So
that's right. And that's my thing. And that's what I, as a makeup artist, as a you know, a makeup creator, you know, of course, yes, there are some things. There are days when you look in the mirror and you're like, ooh, like, you know, whatever. I didn't get enough sleep last night, or the dog threw up all night, or whatever. I had a fight with my boyfriend or my girlfriend or whatever. These are the little tips and tricks, yes, that I love to teach people, because, you know, you don't want to look tired. Like, you don't want to walk in and be like, hi, I feel really great, I'm super confident. You want to have that little arsenal. I always say it's like a little, you know, toolkit. It's a little thing, and it's your signature look. That's another thing that I always tell everybody. What is your signature thing? Is it a high ponytail? Yes, a braid on the side. Is it those things? Is it a smoky eye? Is it a red lip? Is it a fantastic, you know, whatever outfit that you wear? Is it your badass bitch boots? Is it whatever? What is that thing that you can do when you're asleep? Like literally, like you have to be unconscious, basically, like so tired that you can't even do it. But you can do that smoky eye and know that that's something that takes work, right? It takes work. It's just like everything else. You have to learn how to do it. But it's that little thing that you have in your pocket that gives you that confidence that you know, even on my worst day, when I feel awful, when I feel like I can't even survive, that if I need to perform, because let's be honest, we're all performing here every single day, whether or not, you know, you're on a stage or you're going to the office, right? This is a performance, and you have to go out there and do it. I look at our 3 daughters, and they're so funny, because I also realized that we learn how to not love ourselves because when you have these little people and those poor things, I have been watching them since they were born, because I want to understand, how do we become what we become? They love themselves when they're born. They love every little thing, and they lean into who they are. Sophie is this like beautiful lesbian who just goes out there and works her gayness and loves it, and cuts her hair short and all that stuff. Pilar's this like fabulous unicorn who can sing at the top of her lungs and will stand in the middle of the grocery store and sing as loud as she can, right? So people can hear. And Vivian's just this like, I don't even know Vivian. I'm gonna have to put her in a cage because she owns it. And that's something that I wish we could all do again, is reach into who we were when we were young, before that 14-year-old that saw that picture, right? Before.
Ladies, ladies, ladies. I know sometimes you worry that you're not good enough. Trust me, nobody knows that better than me. I spent almost a freaking decade having my soul sucked out of my body, doing something that I didn't love. Finally, even though I was scared to freaking death, I decided I was going to go for it. And I've ended up building the life of my dreams, a life I couldn't have imagined, because I realized that radical confidence is being afraid and doing it anyway. I wrote this book for you with 10 no BS lessons that you need to go from feeling stuck and frustrated to doing anything that you set your mind to.
So here's what's about to happen. You didn't think they could get more beautiful. I know, me neither. But let me tell you, we're gonna teach them some tips and tricks. How to, look at this, first of all. Lisa V did not do anything half but, okay? This is amazing. So, first and foremost, everybody's gonna have a little arsenal, a little toolkit that's right in front of them so that they can learn. We're gonna do 3 quick little things. We're gonna look like we've had 8 hours of sleep, which who got 8 hours of sleep last night?
Oh, Jesus, you're joking. I wish.
Okay, thank you. Me, no one.
Okay.
And also, no one watching, probably. We're gonna learn how to do a smoky eye, but a smoky eye that is made for you. Okay, and again, I just want to say this one more time. We discussed this. Both Lisa and I feel very strongly about, we don't want you to think that you have to wear makeup to look beautiful or feel powerful. That's not what this is about. It's more about just teaching you how to do whatever it is customized for you so that you can go out there and conquer the world. Since it's Lisa's party, we're gonna start with it. Okay. Well, just for fun. Well, or at least we'll show you what it is. Okay, so this is, I'm just gonna say, it's concealer, okay? And most of you, maybe you don't know what concealer is. It's basically just something that can help brighten your eyes.
I need that.
Okay, yeah. But the trick is this, you don't want to just put concealer right underneath your eyes, only under here like we used to in 1983.
Oh, I still do that now. I do. Me too. Guys, and in 2022, this is
why we need you, Melly. This is why we need you.
Get the memo. Apparently you didn't either.
Thank you. Okay.
We're behind.
Give us the grace.
Okay, I was noticing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
She's like, that's why I started with you, Lisa.
Honey, your husband is right there, and I do not want to get beat up. She's perfect. She doesn't need any of this, okay? But anyway, okay. And the question I always get asked, actually, is do you want your concealer to be like lighter, or do you want it to match your skin? And that is literally just up to you. Like, I like a little bit of brightening, obviously, but at the same time, if you want it to just be your skin tone, then absolutely good to go. But there are actually 4 places I want you to put it on to make you look like you've had a facelift. I know. And again, not saying that you need to have a facelift. I'm very careful with my words because I don't want anyone to think, you know. So you're gonna go a little underneath your eyes, inside, kind of inside the bridge, near the bridge of your nose. Then you're gonna take a little bit, guys, you wanna put a little bit in between your eyebrows, like right under, like in between your eyebrows, like so, like where a bindi would go.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
I always do it really close to my eye, but that's quite
No.
far down.
Yes.
That's where I'm going wrong.
Yes. You know what? The reason why you don't want to go so close to your eye, good job, baby, is it can actually make you look more tired.
I feel like I'm back.
You want to have a little bit of space between your lash line and your concealer.
I
So that
see.
you have that, yeah.
And then, guys, a little bit underneath your bottom lip, just like so. Okay.
Where
and that's
under the
how
lip?
Everybody, Lisa, show
Where's
your
that?
friends. You're like,
Lisa.
This is where I'm going. That's okay. No, you're okay. No,
On
you're
your chin.
right. You're right. It's you'll blend it in. You'll blend it in.
On your chin.
There you go. On your chin.
Her
Perfect.
skin is so perfect.
I know.
Even when she puts it on, you can't even see because her skin's so bloody perfect.
It's like it looks the same. Okay.
I did do my I
Very tough.
didn't actually wake up like this, you guys. I did put on makeup this morning.
So did I, though.
Nicole, good job. Good job. I see you. I see you. Okay. So
even think I
you're doing
No,
you did. You're doing great.
See, Nicole's getting magically
And
confident the first time she's doing it.
She's doing it.
All right.
Okay, so now fingers. Just take your fingers. You don't need to have brushes. Now, the trick is this. Everybody take your ring fingers.
Yeah,
That's not a ring finger. That's a pointer.
Which is
This
ring.
one.
Why?
The ring.
Oh, the middle one?
Not the middle one. Okay, it's the ring finger. This one.
Oh.
Okay,
Why?
that's the softest
Why?
touch.
Oh.
So you don't want, because you don't want to go banging on your face year after year, and next thing you know, you end up with all,
I've never.
Yes, just try. Ring fingers. There you go. And what you're going to do is you're just going to pat it in. Oh, it's happening.
Good morning.
This is the kind of stuff that gets me excited. Well, maybe there was a little too much there.
Oh my God. Danielle's used it as like literally foundation.
Thank you. Okay, so just go ahead and, there you go. Just kind of blend it down, or I'll come help you. I'll come help you. But look at Lisa. Look, I got to help her. I'm sorry. You've been abandoned. Sorry. Someone else needs help here. Okay, I got you. Let's go. Look up. There you go. And now we're going to pull it down.
Oh, I forgot about this part.
Pull it down. There we go.
Well, if you can sort me out.
There we go.
Yes. No, you're great. You're great. And also, too, angels, if anybody has like redness around your nose, right? Redness around the corners of your nostrils, take whatever's left over if you use too much. Look.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Pretty, right?
It is.
Brighter already.
Brighter, exactly. And that's what this is all about, just that. Okay, so now, let's talk about smoky eyes.
Okay.
Because here's my thing. Smoky eye, I did Helen Mirren once, I did her makeup. And she was
just named you. Why did Helen Mirren?
I'm sorry.
Helen Mirren.
I mean, you know what I mean.
love it.
But you know what I mean.
love it.
But the reason I love it is because she's, a woman of a certain age. And she was like, give me a smoky eye. And I was like, okay, queen. And she was like, no, like, a smoky eye is always sexy. A smoky eye is always fabulous. It's always confident. So if for whatever reason, it doesn't have to be 2 holes in a bed sheet. You don't have to look like somebody punched you in the eyes. Like Eve came to your house and did a number on you.
It's all Eve.
Exactly. I know, exactly.
Don't beat people up.
Thank you. So what you want to do is it's just about having a halo of shadow around your eyes. So I think we have a shade called brownstone.
I think Danielle
There.
was very excited about the smoky eye.
Yes, Danielle, get the.
was
and
very
she's not
excited
picking up her item, so I think she wants me to do it for
I
her.
think she is, yeah. I think she's
Okay,
waiting.
Can
Of course,
okay.
yeah, please.
She's very
Brownstone.
demanding.
She's gonna beat me up now if you don't do her
Thank
smoky
you.
eye.
Okay,
Alright,
so here we go. So this is the thing that we need to know. You're going to take the shadow stick, and the reason I love these is
steal
because
yours
it's,
back then.
Thank you, because it's everything that you need. You still have that other one. This is the brown one. And it's everything you need, no powders, no fluffy brush, no falling, that kind of stuff. And it makes it easy, right? So you're gonna close your eyes, and in just the most simple way, guys, I want you to line your lash line, just like so. And I hope everybody at home can see this. And then what I want you to do is take it right up past your crease. Now, I don't know, this is a little technical, but even if you have a hooded eyelid or eyes that are getting a little droopy, you do want to make sure that you go past the fold of that eye, just like so. So open for me. You see that? Ooh. Yes. You see how we just added that sexiness? Oh,
Yes.
She's
Hello.
very satisfying to do makeup on. She gives the right responses. Okay, so now blend all over, just like so. And again, it doesn't have to be crazy, guys. You don't have to look like you're going out for like some kind of sexy evening or whatever, unless you want to. And there is, and look at that, bourgeois, yes, hello. Okay, now here's another thing. You want to do underneath your eyes, okay? But right at your lash line, so look up for me. And you just go ahead and smudge it, look up and smudge it right into your lash line, guys. right into your lash line, and that's it. Look.
Into
Yeah.
Oh,
the lash
this is a
line.
game changer.
Oh, okay. So this is the Mally Beauty Shadow Stick.
Yes.
But it's a shade called Brownstone, which again is a really easy shade because it works on everybody's skin tone. I mean, if you're a darker skin tone, like, you know, maybe an African skin, whatever, you might want to go a little deeper. But this is a very easy shade for everyone. Okay.
Yeah, I've not
Yes.
seen this before.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's very, and it makes it easy. What's that? Nicole!
Yes. They don't call it a smoke show. But
You look so beautiful.
My first smoke.
Yeah. The first smoke. Yeah.
First smoke.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Self-done.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. And then obviously we know she even knows what she's doing. She's just here to humor us all. She's like, look at how even more beautiful I can be. Is that possible? Isn't that great?
It's amazing.
It's easy.
Yes.
It's easy.
And like you said, there's
Where
no.
can people get this though? If everyone's watching, they're like, I want some of this. Where can they go to? Mally.
You can go to Mally.com. You can go to
.com.
QVC.com. I've been on QVC for 17 years, which is just like, it's crazy to me. But again, it's all about teaching and it's all about empowering. And Danielle is ready to go.
I know. She's just like, I'm ready to go club.
Thank you.
Alright, so there's a third
Yes.
tip. We've got a third tip.
Oh, the third tip. Okay, so very quickly, and this is just a little bit selfish for me because another thing that gets me is I hate. That's a strong word. I don't like when I see people, men, women, whatever, out there who are making an effort at something, and they don't have the tools or the knowledge to do their best. So I don't know if any of you have seen, like, do you know, like when you've seen pictures of like celebrities and stuff on the red carpet and they have all that white powder on their face, or like it's underneath their eyes, or it's this white cast. So I really felt strongly about creating something that was not like white powder, but that would do everything that translucent powder wished it did. So it's like mattifies your skin, makes your pores disappear, makes your wrinkles disappear, makes you just look like you have a flawless complexion, but without the powder. So that's why, you know, this is not about, so I can't even open this.
The nails gone.
I know, because my chiclet nails. So, thank you. But this is, again, so it's kind of like a balmy thing. You don't have to get it, but the point of it more is, if you're gonna make the effort, do your best, learn the right techniques, learn how to be in the moment, learn how to mattify your skin or whatever without, and use the right tools and really go for it. So here's my trick. So you're gonna take the sponge, if you can open it. It's okay, compact.
Who's left? Who wants to do
Okay.
demo with Mally?
You want me to come over?
Yeah, go over there, go.
Yeah,
So
do
we're gonna
Nicole.
come over here. I'll do Nicole.
Do Nicole. Yeah.
Because she's this.
Because I can't open mine.
Well,
What is it? Okay, so you can't open. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your balm. Okay, it's called the Face Defender, which I also love because.
Face Defender. That's
right.
amazing.
So you're gonna take the Face Defender. You're gonna take your sponge. You're not gonna swipe and you're not gonna scoop, right? You're gonna pat. So you're gonna pat it in just like so. It's clear, so you're like, well, I don't know if I'm getting
Yeah.
anything. You are getting something.
I thought that was like the cover.
Yeah,
The actual
exactly.
product.
It's the
I was like,
actual stuff.
okay, got
exactly.
it, yes.
And what you want to do is simply just pat it all over your face. So wherever you have maybe a little shine or a little sweat, or maybe on the tip of your nose, and you know you don't love the way your pores look, and it makes you feel like a little insecure, just go ahead and tap it in. You don't need a lot. And again, it's very, very subtle. That's the reason why I love it. It's not like you're seeing anything. You see what I mean? And it just puts that Instagram filter on your.
I need this for filming.
There you go.
Everybody
Yes.
shiny.
And you know what I love about this?
does.
Men can use this. Drag queens use this. If you have a gentleman you know with a bald head, this is for taking away the shine. If you're worried about that, if you have a teenage boy that's starting to get zits and maybe he doesn't want to wear makeup, but look, it just takes away all that stuff. But that's the point. Is more. First of all, again, selfishly, I love watching all the girls putting makeup on in the bathroom. That was me when I was like in high school. I was like, come on, girls, we're ditching math class. We're putting makeup on. But that's what this is all about. Yes, flawless, beautiful.
This is incredible. I've never
Isn't
seen
it
a product
fun?
like this.
And
Yeah.
it's just enough. So that's my thing. Get your tools, literally. and learn how to just create those little things. You'll find out personally what's important to you when it comes to makeup or hair or styling or whatever, and then put that in your back pocket, forget about it until you need it. So again, the number one thing is we need to let go of what everyone is telling us is beautiful, and remember that what God gave you, what you were born with, are the most beautiful things. And that's what makes the world go around. Like if we all look like a bunch of clones, like who wants that? You know, that's what's so beautiful about humankind, is that we all have special, amazing, unique gifts. So let go of that. I know easier said than done. Like everything, it's a muscle. You have to keep on working at it. You have to keep on, saying to yourself, this is not how I want to show up for my life. I don't want to spend my life. I don't want to be 90 and look back and think, I hated this about me. Remember that. I always say, try as hard as you can with whatever you can to live with the least amount of regret. Again, I watched my mom, who was my hero. She was diagnosed with breast cancer before I turned 1 year old, and they gave her 6 months to live. She lived till I was 17 because she fought with all of her heart and soul. She looked at me, she said, I'm not going anywhere until I know you're okay. And that is a superpower we all have within ourselves. And the most important thing, funnily enough, she was a doctor. She went to work every day. She put her makeup on every day. And she said, you know what? And maybe that is why I love makeup so much, because I watched her do that. And we all need to remember that this is something that we can do for ourselves to make ourselves feel good. It doesn't have to be a big deal. It can just be something that makes you feel powerful and strong. So what makes you different makes you beautiful. That's something we all have to remember. Last but not least, get your arsenal. Learn how to look like you've had 8 hours of sleep. Learn how to get that smoky eye when you're feeling like you need to be fierce and do a presentation and you're like, honey, I didn't sleep for 3 days. But they can't know that about you. That's your information to keep. If you want to tell them that, that's fine, but they don't need to know. And it's not about hiding. It's about enhancing, okay? Because for me, at the end of the day, everyone is beautiful. Everyone has something that needs to be celebrated, and you need to just figure out what that is for yourself. If you do want to go full force, because I feel like I do need to talk to my drag queens out there, because some of us like it. If you want to go full force, go full force. That's okay. I mean, again, I love Lisa because, nobody does a pink booty and some leg warmers like this queen. And when I see that, it's so inspiring. It's so inspiring because for me, it's about going out authentically, 100% who you are, even if it's gonna piss somebody off.
We are now going to talk about how we feel about what we just did. I want you guys to drop in the comments right now, what was the thing that really impacted you? How do you feel? How do you actually feel about makeup? How do you feel about showing up and doing that sort of thing? It used to make me so uncomfortable, but I realized the power, like I really do. And to me, it's all about what tools can we all use in our own lives when we're not feeling great about ourselves. Instead of beating ourselves up about not feeling great, what can we actually do about it? Because like you said, we freaking deserve it, guys. We deserve to put our best foot forward with all the tools, and that's what these ladies are here for. So, Eve, can we start with you?
Yeah, well, I just really resonate with the idea of sometimes not feeling my best and then going, you know what, I'm gonna fake this today. And sometimes that means putting on some concealer and, or just doing the few things that make you go, okay. Like when I look in the mirror, I go, oh, you're not tired. You're not tired. You're fine. And obviously that only works to a certain extent, but it really does. There's something about sometimes how you look is how you feel, and how you feel is how you look, and those they communicate to each other. What I see in the mirror can communicate to me. But I do love and I also love what you said just about finding that thing that is unique, and that it often is. And it's just, I remember for me, it was my jawline. Like, it was really strong, and I'd always get called like a boy, or like, having a strong facial features.
I've been admiring your jawline this entire day.
Thank you.
Anyone else who would die for her jawline?
Thank you. Like silhouette. I was like,
Exactly.
Well, this is the story, right? Of as a child, that was the kind of insecurity was my jawline, because other boys would say that I look like a man or look like a boy or look, so.
Oh, don't you just want to call them now and be like?
But these are just examples of how, like, it's so relative, and just learning to have a new relationship with how you speak to yourself in the mirror. And I'm, as we age, it's really important to be really, especially in, I was in a profession where I had to be on camera all the time and had to have makeup, like all kinds of makeup on. And so just finding a new relationship with makeup and finding a new relationship with my face as it changes, and learning to do that with grace and with like appreciation. It's a journey.
It is a journey. And I didn't necessarily bring that up, but about the whole aging thing.
No, let's talk about that.
It is a very touchy subject, and to be honest with you, something that I struggle with when I talk to people who follow me or ask me questions, because there's a little part of me that's like really easy to go like, okay, let me help you look like you're 10 years younger. But then I have to be careful, because I don't want to say that, because we've earned all these lines. We've earned all these laugh lines. We've earned this journey that we have. However, you still want to feel youthful and timeless and beautiful. So in finding that perfect balance of where we can embrace that, and then also, also kind of give it a little help.
It's so funny because about the age thing, I remember, so Lillian Garcia, I was interviewing her once, and she was talking about, like, she went on stage, she was doing this event, and it was like her birthday, and she lied about how old she was. And one of the wrestlers afterwards literally said to her, you have a choice. You can either get old or die. Those are your two choices. And literally since that day, it was like not a passing comment, but when she said it, it hit me so hard that even now I went to look in the mirror the other day and I was like, oh my God, I got a wrinkle and I love it. Like the instinct was to insult myself. I looked closer because I was insulting myself. But because I keep reminding myself of the mindset of how powerful those wrinkles are, even if it's not instinctual, having something to go to that you can remind yourself why that is beautiful, I think is so powerful. And I really want to talk about that, because as women, I don't want to shy away from the fact that yes, we get older, and how do we lean into the beauty of that? But also, like you said, the authenticness is you don't necessarily want to look really, really old. So it's like the duality of the natural instinct, but how do you stop that and then act it with something positive?
Yeah, it's a tough place to sit in, because you have to also just be careful of the words you put out to yourself. That's something that and again, I hate to keep saying, but having 3 daughters, I am so careful about the words that I say in front of them, because I am, with my husband, growing these strong, fierce women that I do not want to feel like they have to look a certain way or be beautiful to be loved, because that's not what this is all about.
You just said something that I was like, oh, that's really interesting. You said like the duality of it. And I think sometimes we live in a world where it's like this or that. I like it, I hate it. Versus like, okay, like I have acne scarring. It's like, here's my acne scarring. If I own it, I don't love it, but I also don't need to be ashamed of it and feel like I have to cover it up. So there's like a duality in that, being like, I don't have to like have it on show, and if I want to cover it, that's okay, and I can feel 2 things towards it. So just very interesting what you were saying.
Yeah, it's true. It's very important, because again, that was a journey. And it's funny, we talk about scars. Scars are the fact that you made it through something. It is I have C-section scars that I look at all the time that could be considered so ugly, but I gave birth to 3 babies. You know what I mean? And I look at that as a badge of honor. I look at that as something we've done. You got through. You're freaking stunning. And your energy is even more beautiful. So that's something that you can say to yourself, today I'm going to cover that because I feel like it. And today I'm not. And that's okay too. That's what I love.
Yeah, I like you're building in the flexibility. I mean, we are evolving creatures, and I think if you're able to locate where is that want coming from, do I want to make this choice, or am I wanting to make this choice because I imagine I want this external validation. And I think the reality of it is some days we do want different things. We're more comfortable in maybe our age on one day, and another day we're not as much. And the more we make space, I think, and I've had a similar kind of evolution in my relationship with scars for a very long time. And I can actually point out I have a scar right above my forehead right here from chickenpox. And a famous story that went on in my family. My mom was so proud that she watched us all when we had chickenpox because she was so afraid that we would pick our face and get a scar. And lo and behold, I have my chickenpox scar. So for me, it was this messaging that scars, weren't a badge of honor from life experience or to be avoided. And then flash forward in time, and I have scars. I'm a very active person. I like to throw myself around. And long story short, when I would have those scars, I would focus on them. I would wish they would go away. And I really had a conflictual relationship with imperfection on my own body that I've now learned. And again, I can trace it all back to this messaging and the concerns about what would people think. And I think sometimes when we can embrace it ourselves, doesn't matter anymore. And sometimes it still might.
Yeah.
And that's also okay too.
That's also okay. Right. I think about that all the time. It's like your scars, your this, my crooked jaw, all of this stuff. Are you okay with it when you're just sitting at home watching TV? Of course you are, because that's you and you're okay. Or maybe you're just, you're used to it. But we have to realize that beauty is not for him or her or them or you. It's for yourself. And that is something that I try so hard to tell people, because it's really, really important to remember that this is your face, okay? This is how you communicate with people. And if you don't love it, because you have to love it, then you're not going to be able to communicate freely and tell people what you want or what you need to satisfy your life. So it's kind of like a weird vehicle, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Not that you ride your face, but you know what I'm saying. You're communicating to it, through it. And that's very important.
That's so powerful. And then kind of that came off what you said, is not looking for the external validation, like putting on a face just so that you can get the accolades to feel good about yourself, because it's not freaking sustainable. So anytime that you're looking outside yourself for that validation, I think becomes very dangerous. And so to your point of like, it's for you, I think that's so beautiful.
It's important.
I had this realization literally just the other day that, I'm sitting with I have two boys, ages 6 and 3, and my 3-year-old loves squishing my belly. He sticks his finger in my belly button and just squishes it. And I realized my boys are probably the only people I could be around and be wherever and just whatever I look like. And it doesn't matter to them. And it was just this interesting moment where I went oh my gosh, that's that realization. This stuff doesn't matter. This stuff really doesn't. And that is love, and that's, acceptance.
Yeah.
And so I'm what a gift to be able to see and just feel that moment of wow, you guys don't care at all what
because they love you.
Yeah.
And you're beautiful to them no matter what.
And that's where we just have to go finding the love that we get from our family or from others, and reflecting that. So.
I think you said something so powerful, which is, in my opinion at least, that's what love is: acceptance, the space to be exactly as we are in whatever moment that is. It's not an action, it's not appearing a certain way. It's literally those moments of and so when we apply that then to ourselves, it's not falling in love with every aspect of our face or our body. It's just learning to accept it all as being part of the whole that is us.
That is the most confident thing in the world, when you show up as someone who knows what she wants. I am my own worst critic. We are our own worst enemies. If we can also remember that, it's just really important to take a step back, that your thoughts are not the truth. And your thoughts are actually something that is keeping you from living the life that you want and finding the partners you want. And confidence in the bedroom or confidence in the boardroom really